All right, I'm ready for another scouting walk. Take a little walk looking for some reference photos. And I'm standing behind the Epic movie theater in Ocala, Florida. And it's the time of day when the shadows are looking pretty dramatic. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. And first of all, there's the theater, the back of the theater. And you see all these trees. It just looks so beautiful back here. I bet you most people don't even come back here. There's an apartment complex right there. I think that's what that is. Or maybe that's an office building. I don't really know. But what really attracted me was this area over here by the retention pond, which has no water in it right now. But you know, I was thinking I could paint this and I could fill it with water in the painting. Let me show you. See how that looks? That looks pretty nice. I like the way that looks. Or even over here. I might take a walk somewhere else and see if I can find something else. But right now, see, I can imagine this, if that was filled with water, all those shadows and all those reflections, or maybe even that end of it, you know, over there, if that pond, if this retention area was filled with water, and I'm sure it is sometimes, I think it would look really cool as a painting. So I might do that. It might be what I do. We'll see how that looks when I get home and look at the video. Or over here even, you got this long stretch of garden here with that one tree right there. And the building. Yeah, I could do kind of almost like an urban landscape with a building in it. I don't know. Alright, I think I'm going to drive somewhere else and see what else I might find. I'll give myself a couple of choices. Okay, I've come to another place to get more reference photo shots. And this place is called Sholom Park. And there are really two sections here. The gardens, and then on the other side is the very large park that you can walk through. But I thought I'd come here to the garden and see if I could find something that would be fun to paint later on in the art journal that I'm doing. There's probably a million shots in here that will work well. I mean, this right here looks beautiful, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a nice day too. I know it's hard to believe it's December. Here in Florida, it'll trick you sometimes. You know what? I'm just going to walk because I seem to feel that there isn't a bad shot here. So feel free to use any of these shots for your own reference photo. You know what I do? I take a screenshot. Oh man, this is beautiful. This is really outstanding. And the leaves are still like changing colors as they do in autumn. In the rest of the country, they wait till now. In Florida, look at that. Look at that beautiful scene right there. If you're not here for art or for reference photos, just enjoy the walk. It's a beautiful place. Plenty of dappled light to work into your painting. You could even use limited palette on some of this. You know, just add the colors that strike you. doesn't stop being pretty. Look at the red flowers up ahead. I don't know if you can see them. Look at this area right here. Really pretty. And again, excuse me if I am breathing heavy. Actually, getting out to walk is a good thing for me. It's a really good thing. It gets me away from that sedentary thing I do, sitting at the desk all day long. Look at these red flowers. Beautiful. The sky is so blue. Yeah, I couldn't find another park I was looking for, and then I thought about this one. Sholom Park is what it's called. Sholom. A lot of people pronounce it Shalom, but I know it's Sholom. It's named after a man, and that was his name, Sholom. Alright, well, I see benches, and benches are my friend, so I'm going to stop here for a little bit and just take in the beauty of this area, which I can only attempt to try to capture this beauty on a painting, but it is beautiful. I don't know what shot I'll use as a reference photo when I begin the next entry into the art journal, but it's really pretty. You never know what might work as a reference photo. I think sometimes it's easier for me if everything that I want in a reference photo is there, and I just basically paint what's in the photograph. It's not that different than plein air painting, except I have the luxury of staying at home and doing it. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll turn it back on after I walk a little bit. Okay, let's walk through this other gate. See some other angles. It's real pretty, huh? So, I'm kind of enjoying doing the art journal. On the back of each one of the pictures, I'm writing where the painting is from. You know, where, like this one will say Sholom Park. Oh, look at that. That's just beautiful right there. See how the light comes through the Spanish moss and it looks bright, and then the other Spanish moss is completely shadowed. And a curved walkway makes for a really good painting, I think. I've done a lot of paths in the paintings I've done. A lot of them. How about this scene right here with that bench? That looks nice too. That dappled light on the sidewalk. Yeah. Real pretty. You know what? I think I'm going to walk the path less taken. I'm going to get off the sidewalk and walk across this field here. Look at all these. I don't know what that is. Is that a pecan? What is that? What kind of a nut do you think that is? Can you see it? I don't know what that is. It fell off this tree, I guess. I guess it did. Look at that shot right there. Wow, I'm not going to know what to pick. They're all so beautiful, all these different angles. How about if I look back at the trail? Real pretty. Real beautiful. Let me walk over to that opening. That opening looks out onto a pasture that I think has cows in it. I'm not sure. But like I said, if you're here for the art, feel free to take a screenshot of anything you want. If you're not here for the art, just enjoy the walk. It's probably not going to be as educational as some other YouTubers, but it's just peaceful. Look at this. Look at this close-up of the Spanish moss. See? That's what it looks like up close. And it catches the light in so many different ways. You know? That might be a nice painting, just that right there. Spanish moss up close. Try to walk under this branch here and see if I get a nice shot here. I'll walk over to that opening. A little bit of a hill here, so I have to be careful. I don't have the same walking sureness as I did when I was younger. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at him. You see him? Look at that guy. Is that a millipede or a centipede? I don't know. It's one of God's creations. It's amazing. Oh, that field over there's got a lot of long, wild grass in it. Let's see what it looks like when you get close to it. My phone is making noises. Let's see what this looks like here. Oh yeah. Oh wow. There's even a trail in there, like maybe a tractor opened up the grass. There's a fence, no trespassing sign. I'm not going to trespass. I'm just going to hold on to the fence. Look at that. Now there's a scene for you. It is hot right now. It is like summertime hot. Wow. Hope you don't mind a long intro on this one. There's just so much I want to capture on the video. There's where I walked from. I gotta get back to the trail so I can find a bench. Need another old man moment. If you paint a picture from any of these, I'd love to see them. You can post them anywhere and then tell me where they are, or you can put them on the Poppa Paints Facebook group. That might be beautiful to see. We walk in the shade of this tree, these trees. Yeah, pretty scenery. I'm glad I stopped here. I'm sure you can hear my feet stepping on the leaves on the ground. I don't see any squirrels. I thought I'd see squirrels here today. Oh, I think I just saw a squirrel. I spoke too soon. Let's look. Oh yeah, there's a squirrel in that tree over there. I don't know if you can see him. As long as it's not a bear. Really pretty. Why do we want pretty in our lives? I guess because there's so much that isn't pretty. Look at that bird. Look at this tree limb over here, reaching down to the ground. Okay, I'm back on the trail now, on the path. But check out that tree. Oh my gosh. Those benches. Got that golden yellow color going on there. Wow, I'm not going to know what to pick. I might use more than one. This might be a more than one reference photo scouting adventure. There's this big old pine tree. Goes way up there. Way up there. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna start heading back. Gotta find a bench first. I like the metal benches and the better than the wooden ones, because the wooden ones might have bugs in them, you know. So look at these yellow leaves here. Look at that. There's a picture right there. Real pretty. Very pretty. There's leaves everywhere. Oh, that looks so nice right there. That is a picture right there. I like it a lot. Gotta find a bench in the shade, then head back to the car. Real pretty. So there's the sign. I'm on the labyrinth path. The Peace Rose Garden in Sholom Park. See, there's the spelling. Look at the leaves falling. Look at the leaves falling off the tree. Look at that. It's like snow. It's Florida snow. The leaves are falling. Wow, it's beautiful. These little bridges here. Let's see the water going under him. See the water going under the bridge. Two bridges. The Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. Miniature version. That must be the East River right there. Very nice. Listening to the waters. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Listening to the waters. All right, there's plenty of reference photos in this video. Which one will I use? Which one will Robin use? Which one will you use? This is berries. And there's the old man's friend, the bench. Oh, I know where I am. I've seen this statue before. This is the statue of the man who was instrumental in designing maybe the park or maybe the whole community. Let me show you his statue. Yeah. There he is. There he is. His name is Raymond J. Funk. Yeah. Being remembered in such a beautiful way. In a beautiful place. Oh, I think I see a shortcut to my car. So I think I'll walk over there and wrap up the video. Just a few more minutes of potential landscape photos for references. Sometimes when I make these videos like this, I'm tempted to put music behind it, but I don't think I want to. I think I like it just the way it is. All right. I see my car over there. Let me turn this around. Okay. Well, that was a nice walk, right? Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get some reference photos out of that. Let me know if you do. I'd love to see what you come up with. And now I'm going to turn this off, and the next thing you see will be me tomorrow morning painting one of these scenes from Sholom Park. I hear an airplane up there. I'll turn it around and walk a little bit more, and then I'll turn it off. So I'll see you in a minute on the other side of the video. Intro, but I enjoyed the walk. I hope you enjoyed the video of the walk. And now it's time to paint. And let me show you the reference photo I chose from all of that. There it is right there. And you see, the reason I chose it was because there's a bench in it. And you know, this is a man-made park. Well, obviously everything in the park is made by God, but I mean, it's what's maybe not made is not the right word. Maybe it's man. It's crafted. I don't know. But anyway, there's benches there, and you're not walking in the woods necessarily. You're walking in a park, and it's really a beautiful park too. It really is. Can you blame me for making such a long video? I mean, it really was nice walking in there. I'm really benefiting from the walking too, you know. I sit a lot, you know, in doing the art. You find myself sitting. I've been thinking about getting one of those stand-up desks. Maybe that would be better for me. But anyway, I'm sedentary, and that's the reality. That's the reality. You know what I think I want to do here? I think in the photograph, it's a little bit hard to see the actual trail right there, but I think I'm going to leave that trail a little bit more obvious, and I think I'm going to make the trail a little bit on an angle, so I'm going to change it a little bit. But other than that, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to put the bench right here. I think the bench needs to be a little bit more prominent also. So I'm going to make the bench bigger. I'm going to make the trail a little bit more of an angle. And that's the only thing I think I'll change as far as the reference photo is concerned. So anyway, I enjoyed the walk. I enjoyed talking to you guys. And if you were wondering where Robin was yesterday, she was with her mom Christmas shopping. Yeah, I went Christmas shopping also. Before the walk I went because I had to go to the doctor. And then after the doctor, I did some Christmas shopping, and I found something for my grandson. Here's the thing. I felt like I didn't really have, I have a few gifts for him. I know what you're going to say, I'm spoiling him. But the gift I found was perfect. Should I tell you what it is? It was a Lego Lion King. So you put together this, one of these Lego puzzles, and when it's done, it looks like the baby lion from the Lion King movie or story, or however you say that. And so I thought it's a little bit maybe advanced for a 6-year-old, but I thought, well, he's got parents, So I will make it for all three of them. You know, for my grandson and my son and my daughter-in-law. So it'll be for all three of them. It'll be like a family project. That's what I'm thinking. A family project. I'm trying to do the darks today a little bit first. So there's that trail I was talking about. I want to make sure that the dappled light is really obvious too. So I'm enjoying the walks. I hope you are also. I don't know if there's a way to mark the videos, so if you don't want to watch the walk, you can just jump forward to this part. So I'll see if I can figure that out, and if I figured it out, then it's already on this one. It's possible. It's possible that you're looking at it. It's possible I already did it from your perspective. Yeah, so I went to, I'll tell you where I got it from too. I got it from Barnes & Noble. The little toy I was just telling you about. Did you hear the dog? There's a dog out there somewhere. This is what I like about gouache. You can reactivate it and just kind of let it do its thing. Like with watercolor, you can. Watercolor has a way of doing its thing also. It's a different look. I actually don't think of all the watercolors I did. I actually don't think that I in any way have mastered watercolor. And if you're new to the channel, you might be surprised to hear me say that, because usually I think YouTube tutorials are, the guy behind the camera is the master, but I'm not the master. I'm just the artist. And many times I've learned, and those who've been here a long time know this, I learn a lot from you guys. And if I happen to have said anything that was along the lines of learning, then I'm grateful that I was able to do that. There's so many colors in the landscape. You ever notice that? Landscapes just have so many colors. And they all blend together. They all seem to work together. There was probably not one spot in this park, Sholom Park. There was not one spot that wasn't beautiful. It was really a beautiful park. It's not the first time I've been there. This park also, by the way, has a Zen garden. Is that what they call it? It's like a Japanese thing. Yeah, that's really nice too. In fact, see, we know the guy who's one of the guys in the family that owned the property. They got to be zillionaires. I don't know, but we know them. And he invited us out there to do a video when it first opened up, when the Japanese Zen garden first opened up. He invited us to come out there and do a video, and we did. Yeah, it was very nice. Very different. It's got this very peaceful, meditative kind of a feeling to it. Actually, the whole park has a meditative feeling to it. If I'm going to describe it in the best way, I think that is the best way. It has a very meditative feel, the whole park. But the Zen garden is designed, I guess, by a Japanese Zen guy, or a lady. I don't know. But he gave us a tour before it opened up. We had this sneak peek tour, and you can see that video on. We have another channel called The World Spins Fine on Her Own. Some of you already know that. Some of you have found that channel. I never really cross promote because I didn't know. I didn't know that I should actually. But yeah, the other channel, we do talk about the art on the other channel a little bit, but they don't really show the art. I think I started this partially because I wanted to keep doing videos. I was having issues with my legs. I don't want to get into details about that, but so I couldn't go out walking as much, but now I can. Now I just yesterday I got the okay from the doctor and said, you don't need to come back anymore. And I said, you mean I graduated? Oh my goodness. So that was really a nice thing yesterday for me personally. A personal thing. I'm just trying to grab as much. It's just roughing it in. Everything's being roughed in right now. In this video that the video before this part, it was so it looks so autumn in some of these trees. It is a real interesting thing about Florida and how the trees have this autumn look way late in the year, like right now. I've been here so many years, and I'll be honest with you, I must have just been distracted by my own life because I never noticed it. They say you have to stop and smell the roses. Well, it was one of those situations. You have to stop and get out and walk around a little bit. You don't know what you're missing. You don't know. And if you can't get out and walk around, then maybe you can find a video like what I do, but maybe there's some people who do it better. Just walking around. I don't know. Just seems like a good idea. I'm just getting some of these darker areas. All right, let me put that away. Let me get some of the yellows. I'm gonna. So I can get some straight from the tube. Make it a little bit. Sometimes straight from the tube is more opaque, I think. So I bought a set of gouache paints, by the way, and it's so big. There's so many colors. I feel like I don't need that many colors. Yeah, I'm kind of an old school guy when it comes to colors on paint. I think I've said this a few times on these videos, but I go for the primaries, the black and the white, although I don't really use black very much, but the primaries, the black and the white, the burnt umbers, the raw siennas, the yellow ochres, So that's kind of where I am with color. So I don't really need like this large kit of colors, but that's what I bought because I bought it from Amazon. So I kind of just went with what I found first because I was running low on some colors. But the truth is, if you order the colors separately, I think it's much easier to create your own set of paints, not create them like in the old masters way. The old masters made their own paint. I've actually known a couple of artists who made their own paint. They would literally crush rocks and crush flowers and get colors that way, and it's quite amazing, actually. I've never done that, but I've watched them do it, or I've seen the aftermath. I've seen the mess. I've seen the mess, because it makes a mess. But it's very interesting. I'm still kind of not sure what I'm doing here. Still trying to lay out some of these colors. I think that get some of this yellow and green over here. This is still all the back part, this is all. Get some of these orange tones. It's really, what is it? It's actually yellow ochre, of course. But I call it orange. If I mix the yellow and the yellow ochre, it does kind of have that orange look, which is kind of what I want. So I don't know where I'm going today. What is today? Today's Friday. So I'll take a walk later on today. Maybe Robin will come with me. I think I can go ahead and add some of these trees now, because I kind of have it laid out the way I want it. I'll have to put some more white in there to brighten up some of these areas here. Very pointillism-ish. Very pointillism-ish. Looking at the reference photo, so don't think I'm not. I am absolutely using that reference photo. Just getting at all these dark areas here. And of course, what's the common thing in the Florida landscape is Spanish moss, so I'll have to make sure I get that in there too. Yeah, I'm very much a dabber. I am a dabber. Poppa the dabber. Poppa dabs. Poppa dabs. Is pointillism. Have you ever done pointillism? Because I always bring up pointillism because I've done a lot of pointillism. Pointillism is really with more of a pen point or a marker. And actually pointillism preceded pixels, right? I guess. I mean, I was doing pointillism before anybody was showing me digital artwork. I mean, pointillism with an actual pen. You know, where you literally put thousands of dots on a piece of paper to create an illusion of a painting. Paintings, that's what paintings are, really. They're illusions. You know? They really are. Okay. All right, let me get the other brush now and start to put some trees in here. I think for the trees, use some brown or burnt umber, and I'll mix it with the Payne's gray, I think. Let me start with the brown. The tree starts right about here, goes up the side here, all the way to the top of the painting. Why I like gouache. You can paint over everything. Gouache you can paint over. Yeah. So if I was to tell you anything that might be useful as far as words when it comes to art, I mean, watching me paint is one thing. Telling you painting, I would say the one thing is to just do it. And the reason I say that is because here's the problem I have with art teachers. Now, I'm not saying all art teachers. In fact, probably most. I'm probably wrong about this. But it seems like art teachers that I've seen on video. Oh, I shouldn't even say that because it's really not going to be true. What I don't want, whether our teachers do this or not, is I don't want you to think that you have to paint the way the teacher does. How about that's the way I say it? I don't think you have to paint the way I paint. You know, or the bigger message from me is to tell you, if you're young, if you're not young, then you've already got your ways set. This really, you're just watching because you enjoy watching, like I do. And maybe you pick up a little bit here and there. But if you're young, and I would say, you know, high school or in your 20s maybe. But if you're young, don't get so caught up in trying to do a style similar to what you're familiar with. I think you have to start that way. It's kind of like, if you play the guitar, you're probably going to play like your favorite guitar player. And if you sing, you're probably going to sing like your favorite singer. You know, you're probably going to emulate them, you're going to mimic them. But try, just keep doing your own things. Experiment with your own sound if you're doing music, and with your own painting style. I can't tell you how many artists I know that paint the exact same thing as the teacher. And that's really not what you want. You really want to do something that's your own, you know. And to be honest with you, I'm not a good example of that, because what am I doing? I'm painting what the teacher taught me to do. And who's the teacher in my case? It's God. I'm not saying God literally came down and taught me how to paint. What I'm saying is that when I look at the landscape, I mean, everything in the landscape is made by God. Right? I mean, really, if you think about it, everything is made by God. So I'm really just recreating God's work. And it's probably a poor recreation. Well, probably. Listen to me. It absolutely is a poor recreation. It doesn't even come close to the beauty that I saw yesterday in person. Absolutely. So, I do enjoy doing it, though. You know, I look at it this way. I can't recreate what God did, but there must be a reason God made me want to try. There must be a reason God made me want to try. I like that. I like that. Oh, it's kind of a thought I never had before. And so therefore, if there's a reason, then there's a reason God made you want to try. You know, if you listen to the greatest singer out there, and you say, I can never be that good, well, there must be a reason God made you want to try. Oh, I like that. I like that kind of logic right there. That way of thinking. There's a big old tree here. It's funny how you don't see them until you're painting them. There are some big trees in our world. Yesterday when I took a walk in the park, there weren't very many people there, but there were a few. You know, I'm a big guy, and I'm aware that when you're a man and you're a big man and you're alone, and some people might be afraid. I'm aware of that. Gosh, I'm the last one I would never hurt anybody. I don't even want to step on the bugs, but they don't know that, and I get that. So there were some ladies walking alone yesterday. And there were some ladies walking in with other ladies, like two ladies at a time. And I knew, keep my distance, don't look like I'm walking in their direction, and so I had to be careful. Now, when I'm walking with Robin, kind of different, because then they say, oh, he's with a lady, he's okay, he's safe. But in today's world, there truly is so many bad players that you hear about in the news. I know the thinking. Most people are good, and I do agree with that. I do think most people are good, but you know, you hear stories and you see a guy alone in a park, walking around with a camera. Oh my gosh! Yeah, that could have been frightening to somebody. More frightening than a bear in the woods. But I'm aware of that. I'm aware that the world is a scary place. Hey, I'm a man, but I have women in my life, and I know that it's not always the world is not always as good as we want it to be. I got Christmas songs in my head right now. What do they call that? An earworm? You know, when you get a song stuck in your head? I got an earworm. It's funny. Well, I guess the sunlight was coming from the left, so I'll give all these shadows. All these shadows here will come from the left. Gotta put in that bench too. I want the bench right there. You know what? I got the black paint out for a reason. That's probably what I'll use it for. It's for the bench. Alright, let me get some of these grays here. And some of these faded out greens. Oh man, it's starting to look like a scene, huh? I mean, you can definitely tell you can definitely tell what it is now. It's sort of a park. Go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put that bench in there, and I am going to use black. So I know I pulled out a black. Let me see if I can find it. That's blue. Is that the black one? Yeah, that's black. So I don't use black very often, but it's a bench, and the bench is black. So there we go. Let's just hope I can pull this off. You get a very thin brush. Is that one good? That one looks like it might work. All right, here we go. How big do I want? I want it that big, right there. So let's get the top of the bench. I watched a Jimmy Fallon Christmas special yesterday. It was fun. He's very talented. That guy, you know, he's funny, but he really is a good singer. I don't know if you agree with me. And, you know, he's a good mimic. So he's like, I remember in our day we had Rich Little as the guy who was always mimicking other people. And Jimmy Fallon is really good at that, but he's really good at mimicking singers. And you know what I was just talking about is be your own singer. I think he's finally getting his own sound. Because I've heard him sing before. I've heard him sing like, gosh, a number of people. Neil Young, for example. But I think the best singing is that song he did last night. I was watching with Dolly Parton. He did a song, It's Too Early for Christmas or something like that. And they did, of course, Dolly Parton's got a great voice. And Dolly Parton found her own voice, you know, if you think about it. She dedicated her career to singing. And of course, that's what happens when you dedicate to something. There's the seat of the bench. This is a metal bench. I appreciated it yesterday too, because the metal benches don't attract bugs. They don't. I mean, that doesn't mean there won't be bugs on them. It just means that they don't have, well, ticks. Specifically ticks. That's the big one. I don't know if you have ticks where you live, but we got them here. And whenever I sit on a wooden bench in a park, I'm always afraid I'm going to find ticks on me when I get home. And sometimes I do. When I had a dog, I used to have to look at the dog. I'd get on the floor with the dog and look for ticks on her belly and in her fur. Yep. I don't have a dog anymore. I miss having a dog. I really do. But I'm too old to have a dog. I know what you're going to say. You're not too old to have a dog. Well, let me explain why I say that. The last thing I want to do to a dog is to make it sad. And dogs, when the owner dies, the dog, I've seen it before. The dog is like lost. They love you so unconditionally. So when you die, you leave a dog behind. So I'm 70. So a dog could outlive me easy. You know, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to die anytime soon, but but anyway, just a thought. So if you see what I'm doing, I'm putting these little slats in the back of the bench. I'm putting them equally distant from each other and filling it in little by little. And since this is gouache, I can add some light green over the top of it to get the grass effect. I'm not trying to recreate the whole thing, just the illusion of it. Doesn't the bench add something to the composition though? This is why I chose this picture, this reference photo. Because it's calling my name. The bench is saying, Poppa, take a break, set a spell. Come on, Poppa, come over and set a spell. Let's just look at the weeds. Let's just look at the flowers. Let's just look at the trees. Let's just look at the sky. This park is not that far from a major road, so it does a pretty good job. The trees and everything do a pretty good job of filtering out the sound from the road, but not completely. So you can still hear the traffic. Just turn some of those things there. And then there should be one. I think there's one line that comes across here. You know what? I don't know if I should. Yeah, let me just do it. Just do what I see. That's good, I guess. Here we go. There's our bench. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. And it looks like a bench. What the heck? What else could I be asking for? All right, let's continue with the landscaping. All right, there's some more trees in here I didn't get yet. Just a little one over here. And let's see. Alright, let me get some of this dark green, dark gray. Let's go ahead and put the shadow of the bench a little bit in there. That looks good. get some darker areas in here, then I can put some light colors on top of it to give it that grassy look. And those ferns, there was ferns everywhere yesterday. Plus, I'm going to need to put some more of this gray, this dirty water. There's a lot of it up here. I think some of these foreground things are, it's really probably made up of mostly Spanish moss. So make sure I get some hanging there. And we're going to get the white out in a little bit and accentuate some of the dark some of the dark areas that need the white light in them. So that'll help kind of even it out. Somebody was asking me about children's books yesterday online, and Rob and I are actually working on a children's book right now for next Christmas, believe it or not. And so I'm taking my time on it because, well, we got a whole year, but really we don't. We have to get it done by July. Yeah, that's kind of the schedule for Christmas books. You really got to get it early. Very early. So it's an urban setting, but it's a park, so it looks like a rural setting. Making the trail a little bit less wide, narrowing it a little bit, because I think from this perspective you really can't see much of it. So I suspect that the whole video is probably long, because the opening was already a half hour long, and now I've been going another 45 minutes. So I guess we're up to about an hour and 15 minutes already on this. So I hope you don't mind. I'm enjoying the walking though, so I'm hoping you do too. The comments that you guys leave make my day. Sometimes I read those comments and I'm so happy that I'm striking a nerve or a chord or whatever they say, in a good way. I'm hoping. All right, now it kind of looks like I like it like that. Let me just put a few areas here where I can make a few gray areas that look like Spanish moss. Like right there. You don't really have to do a lot, just a hint of it. Since I have this black on here already, I can use the black to create this gray. The Spanish moss appears to be gray, but as I showed you in the close-up, it really isn't gray. Although we could argue that, right? That's an arguable thing. Maybe that's why I'm not so good at it, because I don't quite understand what color it really is. It looks to me like it's reflecting color, like from the sky and from everything else. But there we got enough of a hint, just with that right there, to indicate that there is Spanish moss hanging from these trees. Because it definitely is hanging from these trees. I mean, it was everywhere. I kind of like that. I kind of like the way that looks. All right, let me get the white out. And I'll use the white with the yellow, I think, to try to, or maybe the white with the green, to add a little bit of texture to the landscaping. I put the paints back in the paint bucket. I have a little bucket to my left where I put all the paint. All right, a little skinny brush. That one ought to do. All right, let me get some colors here. Yeah, that works out nice. Yeah, oh yeah. That's good. There's little lighted areas. They look really good. What I did is I mixed white with yellow. Easy to do, just poke it in twice. Yeah, where the sun is hitting, you know. Over here, we got some sunlight coming through. Behind these trees. Over here we got some. Let me brighten that up a little bit. Light's coming through right here. I still got that Christmas song in my head. It's the one that Kelly Clarkson, is that her name? Kelly Clarkson does. It's a nice song. I think she wrote it too. Good job. Good job writing a beautiful Christmas song. I think it might be one of my favorite things about the Christmas season is the music. And you hear the same songs every year, not just the same songs, but the same singers every year. Still hear Bing Crosby after all these years. No, I'm not complaining. I just think it's awesome. I mean, why doesn't the radio station play Bing Crosby songs or John Denver? Well, yeah, John Denver. Or Frank Sinatra. Why don't they play those songs mixed in with the Justin Biebers and the Billie Eilishes? Why don't they mix them in? Why are they all separate? Do you know the answer to that question? Because I don't know the answer. What is the thinking behind that? I mean, why couldn't you have the Beatles followed by whoever's the top artist right now? I guess some radio stations might do that. But then again, am I old in thinking like radio stations because I came from the world of radio? That was my job for 36 years or something like that. I always forget how long I worked in radio. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of white, I think, to the side of this tree. There's a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow. It might not have been there at the moment, but I like the idea of it looking like it's catching the light. Let's see if we get some of these greens over here. Maybe fix that a little bit. A little too much light right there. put some wisps of grass here. Maybe a different brush. Another little tiny brush. There we go. I think I'm done. Sholom Park. All right, I think I'm done. What do you think? There's my page or art journal, day number 7, Sholom Park. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.